Welcome back to United 24/7 and welcome back to another Manchester United reaction, response, review video, I guess, of our football game. Tonight we were playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League. It was the first time we were playing Champions League football in quite some time. It's Wednesday night football, Manchester United are playing again. The Champions League music is popping and we get beat. We got beaten 4-3. So that's the news. Manchester United were beaten 4-3 by Bayern Munich in Munich. So first game of the group, defeat. And what can we say? I have to look at the match as a whole. 4-3 doesn't sound the worst defeat. If you can have a worse defeat, we should have won. Not even going to say we should have won the game. Let's talk us through how it's happened. So we kick off. First of all, the starting lineup. Bayern Munich looks strong. I'm not going to go through their team because we're talking about Manchester United here. Obviously, Harry Kane's there. The main thing with the team is that Neuer, the wonder goalkeeper of Bayern Munich, is injured. That's their main injury. They actually have 2 injuries, but that's their main injury. Man United have about 8 injuries. I'm not going to go through the injured list right now, but we have about 8 people out, and the starting lineup is an okay starting lineup. The main highlight of the starting lineup is that Pellistri starts on the right wing, and we have Rashford and Pellistri on the wings, or forwards on the wings, with Rasmus Højlund up front as the main striker, and then behind Højlund we have Bruno, and then we have a midfield duo of Eriksen and Casemiro, and then of course we have our wing backs tonight that are Diego Dalot on the right and Reguilon on the left, and then we've got 2 centre backs of Lindelof and Martinez, with of course Onana starting as goalkeeper. So the team, the 11 that started, you wouldn't say it's necessarily our first team, not necessarily a bad starting team, but with the amount of injuries we have, obviously it's not looking, it's not the first team we would want against. Say this was Champions League final, it wouldn't be the starting team you want for the Champions League final, but it's the first game of the Champions League, it's group stage, so we got to cut them some slack. But just without going into too much detail of the game at the moment, the main thing that I think that was, the main thing where we've let down probably was in midfield. I think I'm a huge Christian Eriksen fan, and I don't think there was, I'm not going to put any blame necessarily on Christian Eriksen, but I think with Eriksen and Casemiro together, they're just showing their age, really. It's really hard to say that, but they're both in their 30s, and they're playing against a Bayern Munich team who have wonder kids literally in their midfield, and I think they were bossed a wee bit. But in saying that, I think United on the ball played quite well, and especially similar to the Brighton game, the first 20 minutes of the game tonight, we played very good football. There was a couple of chances. Pellistri at the start could have scored a goal, and it was almost like a penalty shout, but I don't think it was a penalty. And then Højlund also almost scored another one, and Rashford could have knocked another one in, and there could have been a few goals within the first 20 minutes. But then, similar to the Brighton game again, we go a goal down, and it was a howler by Onana. There's no mistake. One of the biggest things I respect actually about Onana, during the match I was hating on Onana. I was making jokes being like, oh, we get the Gea on the phone, can we get the Gea back, what's going on Onana? Basically Onana goes to save the ball, bounces off his hand, and then goes into the back of the net. Terrible mistake. But the difference between this new Man United team that Ten Hag's moulding and the team that we had in the past, Onana was the first person out of the press conference tonight, and he stood up and he's taken responsibility. He answered the question twice, saying, that effectively it was his fault that they lost the game because of him. I'm not going to say we lost the game because of Onana. We lost the game because of the 11 players on the pitch, not the one person. But the fact that he's coming out, he's showing leadership, he's saying that he wants to impress the Man United fans, he's saying that, you know, this isn't the start that he wanted as Manchester United and it's not going to plan. Like, I'm seeing good qualities in him. Like, De Gea definitely would have had those qualities too, but I think Onana needs more time, and he will develop, and I think we will see that Onana ball. If we haven't, I think because we've had so much excitement about Onana, maybe we want to see him play with his feet. It's being like taken away from him how much of a good goalkeeper he can be. So I think we'll see Onana come into his own over the next couple of matches, and we have to anyway. He's gonna play well, I think. But I think Onana coming out and saying, you know, owning up to the mistakes and saying, you know, we want to do better, we're Manchester United, is amazing. And saying, you know, actually taking the blame for the defeat, saying that we would have won the game if he hadn't mucked up that first goal. You know, I think takes big cojones to do that, and fair play to him. You know, I'm not going to name names, but you know, people in the past who have captained Manchester United even haven't done stuff like that. So big up Onana for coming out and taking it on the chin. But back to the game. So that was the first goal that went in, and then quite quick after that, it was 2-0 down. So Man United were 2-0 down, and then by the end of half time, we go into half time with 2-0, and it's like, this is bad, you know, can't be good. And there's no changes at half time. We go into the second half. Similarly, again, to the start of the second half, we're playing good ball. It seems to be good football. There's a lot of pressing. You know, Eriksen's doing some good things. Højlund's doing some good things. Rashford. Casemiro has been very quiet the first half, and he's been very quiet at the start of the second half. Diego Dalot similarly has been very quiet. One of the most underrated players, and someone that's not getting enough credit, and someone who I actually forgot to call out in my last video reaction, is Reguilon. Reguilon is the new left back that we've signed on loan from Tottenham Hotspur, and he has been on fire. Last game was the same, and this game is the same. He's running forward, getting crosses in, whipping the ball in, and there's going to be assists there, and I actually think he's going to be a goal scorer too, so big up Reguilon. But that energy's going, and it feels like there's a goal coming, and then Højlund actually manages to get a goal in, and it's 2-1 to Bayern, and there's a celebration, there's vibes, it's like five Chester United, we're back in the game. It's like, get the spirit of 99 going, and then literally within minutes we concede, and it's 3-1 to Bayern, and it's like, well, that's game over. But to be fair to the lads, it wasn't great football up until like the last 5 minutes, I'd say, and we managed to go from 3-1 to getting it back to 4-1, or no, to get it back to 4-2, and then it ended 4-3 to Bayern Munich. So there was 3 times basically that Bayern Munich were able to score goals instantly, but we also, Casemiro scored a belter goal where he's almost like, I was sitting with Nicola and she actually joked about how Casemiro just passes the ball to himself to score a goal, which he did. He got the goal in the back of the net, and then he then scores an amazing header, which is better than the header than the Lazio goalkeeper scored last night. But it'll go missed because basically we got defeated. But Bruno gets a free kick, or Garnacho comes on and is running up the wing and always goes to go in the box, gets elbowed by our Bayern Munich player, and then Bruno takes a free kick, Casemiro bangs it in, and it's a great goal. But you know, that was the 94th minute. There was 4 minutes of extra time, so the game unfortunately was over. So the one the sort of highlight, or the sort of the feel, like it was a bad loss, and I think we could have pushed to win the game. But the positivity to pick out of it, or that Reguilon's playing well, is that Rasmus Højlund scored a goal. It's that Casemiro has amazing energy, and even though he wasn't really seen in the first half, he had the commitment to score 2 goals in the second half. So, and the other thing, I guess, is that what I'm saying about Casemiro is that we need to see more of that in the first half. We need to get Casemiro fire energy back in the first half of a game, you know, and then will be back in it. And I think, you know, the final thing is that it was 4-3. They won by a penalty, which was a handball by Christian Eriksen, and it almost, you know, it's debatable whether it should have been a penalty. It was a handball at the end of the day, so it was a penalty. But winning a 4-3 win by a pen, you know, there is merit to say there that Manchester United could have won this game. You know, it doesn't feel like we should have won the game. It doesn't feel like we should have won the game, but it feels like we definitely could have won the game. And I think that's worth pointing out. Bayern Munich are obviously the hardest team in our group in the Champions League. The other two teams are Copenhagen and Galatasaray. I'm not sure what the result was in the Galatasaray Copenhagen game. I think Copenhagen won, but I'm not too sure on it. And you know, we should beat Galatasaray and we should beat Copenhagen. We should beat them both twice, like, and then we would want to beat Bayern Munich at home, like, after the way we played tonight. I definitely think we can. So, looking forward to the league. I think our next game is the League Cup game. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Prem. But like, the main thing that I want to say is that I think our midfield needs a bit more energy in it. Like, Casemiro needs to get more energetic in the first half. I think Amrabat getting a debut will be amazing for us. So I think Amrabat in the midfield, Mason Mount in the midfield, maybe giving Casemiro and Eriksen a bit of a break, but also having the likes of maybe Casemiro starting with Amrabat or without him, and then getting Amrabat getting subbed on for Casemiro is going to have huge impact, and also Mount getting subbed on and off for Eriksen is going to have a huge impact. So I think whenever we have those two players back, which they should be back for next week, also Kobe Mainoo is going to be back next week hopefully. And one more thing to highlight, a player that actually did really well tonight when he came on, Anthony Martial. Before we scored the final goals, I was all set to record this video before the 90 minutes were up, just raging. I was going to rage at Martial, I was going to rage at Scott McTominay. I was going to say like how Scott McTominay's coming on, it feels like he's just kicking the floor, like he's not really, it feels like he's playing. I was going to say how this is Ten Hag's fault, and like, you know, we need to sort these players out because some of them clearly just don't want to be here. But Martial, definitely, he was doing silky sexy football, like, and I feel like Martial being that player that can come on the last 20 minutes, and even if he can start and play a few games like that, there's still potential in him. It's the best. Like, everyone else is getting injured, but touch wood, Martial hasn't yet. And if we can get Martial playing that silky football that he's good at, he will be good. So I think that's the last highlight. You know, it's 4-3 against Bayern Munich. It's not great, but the positives are there. We could have won the game if we were a better team, obviously, but I think we're going to smash them at home. And also, bring back Amrabat, get Mount in the team, and Rasmus Højlund's going to be scoring loads of goals soon. Let's go, Manchester United fans. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like and all that stuff. Bye.